Hey guys, welcome. I'm Keegan with Seared and Smoked, and today I'm excited to show you this grill cart that I recently built and how I built it. I'll show you every step along the way, and I'm excited it's done because it's really going to help me in my backyard just keep things a little more organized for, well, shooting these videos, to be quite honest. But I'll also use it in just normal everyday grilling too. Good storage, good serving counter, plenty of space. I'm probably going to put granite on that in the future, but let me show you how I built this thing in the first place and walk you through every step so you can build it yourself at home and give your backyard a little more function, a little more, make grilling a little more fun, which is what we're all about, right? So we're gonna start out with the framing and just walk you through the whole build. And as we launch in the framing, it's a really easy process. We're really building from the ground up, building a simple 2x4 base and then going up vertical from there. And I like to think of them just simple steps. So build the base, build the cabinet, set the cabinet, and then it's all finishing work from there, making this a really easy project for anyone at home. And a lot of this framework that you see being built was actually built out of previous project. It was kind of the original grill table, the OGT, the original grill table build from about 4 or 5 years ago. And I've just moved on to a little nicer setup. So it's been decommissioned, took it apart, and it's providing about probably 70% of the lumber for this project, which is nice. So repurposing, rebuilding, and I get to keep the OGT in the family. So that's nice. All right, let's talk about the framing, what we have so far. What I've been doing on a lot of these tables in the past, and this one as well, is starting out with a nice 2x4 base. Just simple framing, nothing complicated here at all. And then building up from there. So 2x4 base, and we have these vertical members, just 3 of those, that we use the Craig pocket hole system to build. And what that allows us to do is just keep the overall width of these cabinets nice and wide versus having the 3.5 foot or 3.5 inch board coming down the side here, which would take up a lot of cabinet space. So that's why I like using the Craig pocket hole system for that, and the top as well. Keep things nice and clean. And then I've added just a little blocking on the interior. You can see that, like this board here, just doubled up the 2x4s in these areas, which is just gonna allow us to put on our floor to this shelf a lot easier. Now, as far as finishing off, you have a lot of choices. I'm gonna be using this 1x cedar for pretty much everything. The shelving floor, the exterior, most likely the countertop as well. I've used this really thin cedar material in the past for vertical siding, which works really nice if you wanna go new material to keep it relatively cheap, and has a really nice look to it. If you want something similar to that tongue and groove, except a little thicker, a little more durable, you can also get 3/4 inch tongue and groove, which I've used on tables before too. And that has a nice seal. Generally, all this stuff will keep it fairly watertight. Charcoal and things of that matter, you'll want to keep in, a plastic bin to keep any water out. You'll still have a little water get through the grooves on the top of the countertop, but overall, I found these to hold up really well if you seal them, and should last a really long time. As far as countertop, you can definitely use granite, or in this case I have soapstone over here for this table I built last year, and I might go that route on this one, but I just want to get it built. I'm going to put a nice cheap, relatively cheap cedar countertop on it, and if I love it the way it's set up and I'm going to keep it and use it for a long time, then I'm going to throw a nice counter on it just like this soapstone, something close to match. So you can always do that. Now let's go back inside, crank this baby out, get it looking good. We're getting close here. Got the doors almost done. We went with the inset variety, which means they're just inside the frame. Looks a lot better. They're kind of a pain in the butt if you haven't done doors before, but after you do it once, I think it'll be pretty comfortable. However, there's sometimes some adjustment needed. You'll notice this door here closes just fine. It's got the soft close hinges, so it takes a while to get back there. And I have adjusted these a little bit already to make them look pretty decent. So this one looks pretty good, pretty even gap around the edge. However, the big door, softly closing, 1,000, 2,000. But you notice I have adjusted this quite a bit already, and I just can't get this. I didn't mount it quite low enough. You know, you do your best job to center it in the opening. You know, you mark things up on the table, you mark things down here, and sometimes you don't get it quite right, which is okay. I just need to take this guy off and kind of trim off the top a little bit, and then it should fit just fine. All right, it's always nice to finish up a project, and this one wasn't too big of a project. You can do this in a couple of days, but it's always nice to wrap it up, and I'm really gonna enjoy using it. Before I talk to you about how I'm gonna use this, I just wanna point out a few details that might help you make a few decisions if you decide to build this or another grill table. So first off, the height. I made this 42 inches tall. Should be about 42 with the casters anyway. We're pretty darn close to 42 inches. And I made this taller because I actually am going to use this a lot for shooting videos, kind of a display area for slicing meat and kind of a serving cart. So I made it taller because I want this to be up closer in the shot. You can see this table next to me is actually around 33 inches, which you're going to find most tables, like a dining room table, is going to be around 29, 30 inches tall. And then counter height, of your kitchen counter is going to be somewhere in between about 36 inches tall. So if you want to make this shorter, you could just take the dimensions, all the vertical dimensions, just take 6 inches off it, and then you'd be at countertop height, which might be what most people want, but for me, this is going to be perfect because now kind of in full view here, shoot everything in one shot. So I'm looking forward to using this as well as the storage. And the storage I know I'm really going to appreciate because now I have room for all the random parts that I don't have spots for outside already. I know I already have other grill tables built, but I still have random parts like these kettle parts that are, 22 inches that I can store vertically in here. I made it big enough I can fit XL parts in there for the green egg as well. So kind of in that 24-inch range or so diameter, all fit right in here. I'm gonna put my things like my pizza stones, anything I just don't have a spot for, it's gonna go in here, which I'm excited to clean things up a little bit out here. And this larger spot could be almost anything. Right now I'm trying to figure out how exactly I'm gonna use it, but I can easily put containers of charcoal in here on one side, then maybe put another shelf here, some other items up here, and some other storage on the right. So I'll do a follow-up video on this because I know I'll probably trick this out a little bit more and make it a little more organized, but it's a really good starting point for anybody at home to store a lot of items. And things I would definitely do, definitely don't cheap out on hardware. The European hinges are a must in my opinion to make it easy to mount these doors and still have a little play with. And I think I'm gonna upgrade the countertop as well. I'll probably put in a granite order pretty soon, just because I do like the complete waterproof function that a granite countertop has, and it will look really nice as well. So check back for the next video when I have this completely done with the granite top, and I'll probably have the inside tricked out a little bit more, do an update on that. And if you're interested in building this grill table, you should check out searedandsmoked.com, where I have complete plans for this grill cart and the others I've built in the past. There's a good variety. If you haven't seen those, you might want to check those out. And if you're just going to build a grill table in general, you might want to check out this video here. I'm going to put it up on the screen. That'll give you my top tips, some of the top mistakes I've made in the past, just things to look out for as you build your own table. Thanks guys, appreciate it. We'll see you next time here at Seared and Smoked. I'm Keegan. Check you later.